guys and ghouls, this is a shooter of the Elderly Nerd Crew with
Nightclover,
also of the Elderly Nerd Crew. So we're here making a video discussing the Xbox E3 presentation that just happened a few hours ago and give our thoughts on it. Are we feeling optimistic or are we feeling negatively about it? So let's start off by some of the games. I missed the first 10 minutes. Did you watch the first 10 minutes?
No, I missed the first couple minutes of it myself.
So I'm not going to discuss every game because there were 60 games I think they said they wrote, and most of them seem to be arcade games, but a highlight seemed to be the Outer Worlds, and it's coming to Game Pass because Obsidian was purchased by Microsoft. But it's still coming out on PlayStation, so all you PlayStation guys, don't worry, you just have to pay for it. I don't. But I'm just kidding. I mean, if I like it, I might buy it anyway. Because it looked very much like... I've seen a lot of people bitching about it on the internet saying the graphics looked exactly like Fallout New Vegas. But I seen it look better. I mean, I could tell that it's clearly on the same engine, but it looked updated to me. And anyway, it's not out yet, so we can't really judge a book until it's out. I mean, but it looks very good, I think.
Yeah, it does look good.
And Fallout New Vegas is my favorite Fallout game, even with all the thousands and thousands of bugs that upon it. Like, I still, even today when I play it, I can't play that game more than 4 hours without it crashing up. That was a highlight. And Keanu Reeves, I marked out when I found out Keanu Reeves was in Cyberpunk 2077, and that looks like it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that.
And then, of course, we got the Game Pass Ultimate, where you can have your Xbox Live and both Game Passes. That's a pretty good deal. I've done it in my head, so you get the whole $60 for Xbox, basically, Live. But you can pay $5 a month extra if you already have Game Pass. I mean, of course, it's not going to be good for people who don't have Game Pass, but I have Game Pass. You have Game Pass, so it makes sense. Plus, especially if you have a computer. And then we got Gears of War 5 coming out. That looked pretty good.
Yeah. Even has a DLC pack for Terminator.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was kind of interesting in there.
I thought the stage presence when they opened up the stage to show the DLC to Gears of War, I thought that's when they was going to do the new console, but it still looked pretty cool. And we got the new console coming out with Halo. I guess I'm assuming Halo 6.
Yeah,
that would be I don't know.
It would be 6, I guess. It depends, I guess, how you look at them Halo Reach games, I guess, but. To me, Halo Infinite, I think that's what it was called, but to me it'd be 6.
Yeah, and it looked pretty nice to be this early, and it's only going to look better as we approach Holiday 2020, which is probably more along the lines of Thanksgiving, because that's usually when they release their new stuff.
Yeah. I noticed a lot of these games were scheduled for 2020, and that's pretty much what I was expecting. Cyberpunk, the Halo's going to launch with Project Scarlet, that's what they called it.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting a pretty good bit of these games to launch with the console.
I know I sent a message to these guys and said I got a rise out of this. And why I got a rise out of this was when I first heard 120 megahertz per second frames
per second.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's double what we get only half the time now. And then I thought 4 times as powerful as the Xbox X. I mean, they gave some specs, but they didn't give it all away. I think that was pretty good. But the way they put it out, I'm looking forward to it. And I think and the no load times. And then they said, when you got Game Pass and a new game comes out, you can be playing it in seconds. So I'm guessing that means you can stream games now, probably.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I love the sound of that.
Yeah.
They were talking already about 8K in there too. And we haven't really broke the surface in 4K gaming. We haven't broke 4K gaming really at all. Our TVs, a lot of our TVs are 120 frames per second, but we've never had a game that would push 120 frames per second.
I don't even think there's movies that do that much.
I don't think so either, really. But if you have a system that will push 120 frames per second with no lag and, depending on how big the SSD drive is going to be. They didn't mention that neither. I was really hoping to hear how big our memory was going to be, but they didn't release that. But it should be exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, the 8K TVs, it's you have to have 3 jobs to afford one of them right now. I think the cheapest one we found was 3K, and it's Samsung, so it's got to probably be the base model, no frills to it. And there was one for $15,000. So I mean, maybe by the time this releases, the 8K TVs will come down like the 4Ks did. So, but I mean, I don't think you necessarily have to have an 8K to enjoy this yet. More details, I'm sure, will be coming because we still got a year and a half to go. So they didn't even discuss price point, which I'm pretty sure it'll be around 500 or 600 probably. Yeah, that's usually the way it is.
Do you feel like technology is moving just a little too fast, though, for us to keep up with? I mean, we broke out of the 1080p high definition, which high definition is 720, but we still have TV that doesn't put out 1080. And now we have high definition where you can stream movies in 4K, but there's not that much out there. 4K TVs ain't been out that long, and it just seems like, now they're already talking about 8K, like 4K is a thing of the past. And don't get me wrong, I know technology moves, everything upgrades, but you're not giving the average consumer time to get used to or get a chance to get into one certain thing before they have to jump into another. But it's still exciting no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, it's starting to move like all the technology is moving like computers. Like, the old thing, like, your computer's outdated as soon as you buy it.
Yeah.
They got a new one coming out. So, it seems like that because you're right. On most cables, when you get cable and you watch it, it's only 720 or the highest 1080i.
Yeah.
No 1080p.
Yeah.
Then when you ask people like Spectrum or Xfinity, when are you going to have 4K? Oh, we don't know. We don't know. We're not even doing that yet. So, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
It is moving like, I don't know. So, was there any other games that we might not have talked about you enjoyed?
Well, I got excited for quite a few of them. The Outer Worlds, of course, is one. Cyberpunk, definitely, without a doubt. I got kind of excited, and it brought back kind of an old-timey feeling when I seen Battletoads.
Yes, I did
come
too.
Up there. I mean, it's like, God, I remember them days playing that and wanting to throw the controller because that was one of the hardest games growing up. But this is a 3-player co-op game.
Yeah, couch co-op, yeah.
So that was interesting. I like that. And I know you said you didn't see the Blair Witch, but I saw the Blair Witch. And when I first saw it, I was like, is this an Xbox game? Because I thought maybe it looked more like a what you call it? Where they put on the thing and the God, it's slipping my mind now, but it seemed more like that virtual reality game. Yeah. My bad. Yeah, it just slipped my mind.
I remember when the first. I don't remember if it was you or somebody I know that played Phantasy Star Online too. I'm excited that it's coming to Xbox first, and then what was it? Crossfire X.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, and then. I started marking out because I'm a huge fan of the Lego games. I know, okay, but I got excited when the original one is coming out. All 9 movies of the Star Wars. So I look forward to that too. It's coming out later this year. Of course, Borderlands 3. I downloaded the new thing for Borderlands 2 because I own the Handsome
Jack collection.
Yeah, so this ties in the new game from the second one. So, and then I was pretty excited about Metro Exodus coming to Game Pass.
Oh, yeah.
And all these games coming to Game Pass it sounds like it's making Game Pass, and they did not lie when they said Game Pass. We're going to make Game Pass worth it and the best gaming streaming device there is, and I think it is. I mean,
we talked about it on one of our earlier videos. If y'all go down and you check, we talked about the Game Pass. I think when we did our PS4 early review and what we thought about that, and we got into the Xbox and talked about Game Pass and stuff. And Game Pass is definitely worth the money that you get. They don't hesitate on putting games out as quickly as they can get them. I mean, Metro Exodus ain't been out long, and you already get it on Game Pass.
Yep.
You get day one exclusives from Xbox on Game Pass on day one. You're not paying $60. You're paying $10.
And like Selminator asked in other game, like they take them off quick. No. How long's Crackdown been out now? For at least 4 months, and it's still on there. Sea of Thieves is still on there. They keep them on there, and like they said earlier, some of these this is a great tool for indie developers too, because they'll put their first game on there and get fans that way, so fans will buy their next game. You know, so Microsoft is knocking it out of the ballpark with this.
And talking about indie games too, that new Ori game looked good too. That game looks fun, which I didn't play the first one a bit. I need to actually go back and play it, but just looking at it, to see that game on the next gen system, if that's when I think it comes out in February though of next year.
Yeah, so it'll be on this one.
Yeah, it'll be on this one. But I believe we're also going to have some cross games that we'll see that come out late on this system, and then they'll come out on the next gen on the Scarlet system as well. And but one thing that caught my attention or my mind the other day that I didn't think about and I didn't realize is that, you know, this gen for our systems, PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, Xbox One X, we don't have a Grand Theft Auto title that actually came out on this generation of a system.
And I heard Grand Theft Auto 6 is not coming out till next, so.
Yeah, and I expect that. I expect that to come out on the next gen system. Which, I mean, if they take all the time they need to make a great system, that's all. I mean, a great game, that's all that matters. But, you know, it kind of shocked me because every generation we've had a Grand Theft Auto title except this one. We had the crossover from the 360 and the PS3 with Grand Theft Auto 5. Well,
this one also seems to be one of the shortest game systems. But I actually think that was it the original Xbox and PlayStation 2 might have been the shortest game console life, but this is not very long either, so that's probably why. But then they worked so hard on Red Dead Redemption 2, and you know my faults for that game is I think it's just way too much to damn do, so that's probably took all their development time this cycle, you know.
Yeah.
So
well, there's a lot of games like that, man. I mean, I know they're trying to put out a game that makes it worth the money. And I understand that completely. You want to get your money's worth in a good game. But there's a lot of games. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is another one. I'm playing that. But there is so much stuff to do in some of these games that really don't have nothing to do with the main story of the game. You know, you can build your character up and you might be able to unlock some different, you know, clothing or weaponry or whatever. But it don't really have nothing to do with the main story that you're focusing on. Yeah. And some of these games take hundreds of hours to complete, and when you have other games coming out like the next month or the month after, you know, you pretty much have to rush through these games to look forward to playing that next game that's coming out.
And I mean, there's certain games like Elder Scrolls and Fallout that I don't mind. I play them hundreds of hours.
Oh yeah.
But they got stuff that keep the storylines. But not every game to me is. Their side quests you always seem to get something out of the time and effort you put into it. Some of these side quests, like Assassin's Creed, it's like, what is the point to doing this other than just killing more people and getting more experience?
Yeah,
I just that's maybe they should keep some side missions down until after the main quest is done. I mean, I don't know what the fix to this is, but some people like it. I mean, what's your thoughts on it? I mean, I could be alone, but I'm not. I know there's others that feel like. I mean, there's certainly. I felt like all the big games that were on last system, that they were perfect. Like Fallout New Vegas, Skyrim, and even other games that the open world games. Those were just like perfect. The Assassin's Creed is perfect. There's a lot to keep you. You could play the world, but it just seems like with all these side missions in the world, it's like. So big. It's like 4 times like they said Fallout 76 is 4 times as big as Fallout 4. And that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I still haven't been everywhere on that game, and I played it quite a bit. So
I mean, you have a world that big and you're walking around and you don't really see nothing all that much. You run into little towns or, you know, maybe an area of houses or buildings or something, but there's nothing there. There's no reason to actually be
there. There's a lot of empty spaces. Maybe with the new consoles, they'll address that and fix that and put shit there. You know what I mean?
Well, something else I was really hoping to see is a little bit more of the Elder Scrolls, the new Elder Scrolls, because that's definitely going to be a next gen game now.
Well, that Bethesda, there was going on right now as we're filming this, so I haven't. But I heard they wasn't going to be talking about that or Starfield much. Starfield is set to be released on this system, but they said that mainly Bethesda is going to be doing Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
Because Elder Scrolls is not coming out till next year or the next system. So, but maybe they did talk about it. Microsoft and Bethesda, they are tight like that. So maybe they release some. But I just have to look at the highlights of it. I haven't watched it. I usually watch them, but I heard that you shouldn't expect much out of the Bethesda one today. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we still have Sony. They got to do their thing. You got Nintendo, they're going to do their thing. So, there's still a lot to look forward to as a gamer overall. But seeing Xboxes today, it was inspiring. It was really exciting. Something to look forward to, definitely.
And it's kind of like a good wrestling program. They gave you a little bit of information, but they left you wanting more. So, because when they first come out, it's like mobile gaming, console gaming, and PC gaming. So, but they didn't really explain how that's going to tie in. So we'll see. There's more details to come, I'm sure. So,
yeah.
Any final thoughts on the Xbox E3?
No, I'm looking forward to it. Want to hear more about it, which I'm pretty sure we will. We still have another E3 next year before it actually will release, because it don't release until the holiday season. So. We didn't get to see what it looked like. They didn't bring out one to see that. So I'm expecting that at next year's E3, if not sooner.
Well, we got PAX East coming up. They always do something there. And then they got other stuff throughout the year. I mean, there's more places until then, even before E3. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that we won't know anything about pre-orders for a good time now. But, well, I'm looking forward to it. I will be trying to pre-order that.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. Until next time, guys. As always, shoot her out.
See ya.